If you are a new rider and you have never taken your motorcycle out at nighttime, I have got a couple of tips that I'm going to share in this video that I think are going to benefit you pretty greatly. Many years ago, I was once a brand new rider. A lot of you who have watched some of my videos, who have been subscribed for a minute, you guys know that I started riding on a Honda Shadow 750cc V-twin big boy. When I had that bike, I was so terrified of riding. I was just so scared of riding a motorcycle in general, let alone taking my bike out at nighttime. That concept scared the living crap out of me. I was so uncomfortable with riding at nighttime, and there's a couple of things that I did going into my first night ride that, you know, were not that smart. I am going to try and make a video that I wish I had when I was a brand new rider going out for my first nighttime ride. So let's go ahead and get into the first tip. When you are out riding for your first night shift, most of you guys are buying full face helmets, at least most of the guys watching videos on my channel. You guys are getting full face helmets, and I know, as somebody who has bought a couple of helmets, all of these helmets nowadays are coming as kits with one clear visor and one tinted like hell visor. When I took my first night ride, I was running my tinted visor because, one, it looks so dang cool in the daytime. It's really nice, you know, not letting people see what you're looking at when you're on the road. It kind of gives you a little bit of mysterious flair that I think a lot of people on a motorcycle are kind of chasing. But that tinted visor needs to come off, at least, at very minimum, while you are doing your first few night rides. I think it varies heavily depending on where you live. I think there's definitely some places, if you live in a city that has good infrastructure and is well lit, you can maybe get away with a tinted visor at nighttime. But look at where I live. Look at what I'm riding on right now. This is my daily drive, basically. There's one light up ahead. I don't even think that's a street light. I think that's a parking lot light. We don't have street lights where I live. Unless you go to the really nice areas, which, you know, I just really don't get out and around to that often. I have no need to be out there when I'm riding my bike. There's nothing for us out there. Take your tinted visor off. What I learned after my first ride with a tinted visor at nighttime is you can bring more than one visor on a ride with you. Get a backpack. You know, if you're going to work, I would always work at night. I would go to work at 4 o'clock, so no matter what season, the sun had not set yet, I would bring my clear visor in my backpack with me, and I would swap it out before I left for the night. It makes such a monumental difference when you are able to just see so clearly. And you might think, if you're riding tinted 100% of the way 24/7 during the day, you might think, oh, it's really not that bad. And I suppose once you adjust to it, it could be worse. But it will make such a huge impact on your riding ability at nighttime. So any new rider, please, 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 get a clear visor if you do not have one already, and bring it with you as a backup in case you end up taking a night ride. Second piece of advice, maybe it's more of a warning, very common if you live in a place like I do, where it's not, you know, some crazy big urban city. Watch your surroundings extra hard. Once nighttime comes, yes, there is less traffic, there's less people on the road. Generally speaking, there's less police everywhere, so you're more inclined to go a little bit faster. You're gonna push it a little bit more, or you're gonna feel that it's safe to push it a bit more. If you live somewhere like I do, there is so much wildlife that wakes up at night. Not only because, things are nocturnal, go back to biology class, but the noise levels and just the calmness of the night brings these animals out, and it provides them a little bit of safety and a little bit of a safer environment for them to operate in. They can move, from one feeding area to the other. Deer are such a freaking big issue down here in the southeast. They actually scratch that. We are very blessed to have such a healthy freaking deer population, but they are an issue for your motorcycle, your plastic fairings, your safety, because those dumb little does will run right out in front of you. Headlights shining, your brights are on, they don't care, dude. They'll stand out in front of you and stare you in the face. You have to keep your head on a swivel. You can't be going that crazy if you're in an area that is similar to what I'm operating in. If you are going to go crazy and go a little fast, one thing that a lot of people don't actually think about, get over in the left lane. That gives you one whole car lane worth of visible advantage right there. That's about, I think a single car lane is about 10 feet, maybe 12 feet, something like that. You could hop over in the left lane. If it's a single lane road, hug the left lane, ride the line, dude. Not only wild animals, even if you live in an urban environment, there are people, homeless people, people coming from bars, people jaywalking. People will walk out in the street without looking where they're going because they fully expect, a large car with non-tinted windshields to be approaching, and they can slam on their brakes fast enough as long as they're not texting. Motorcycles, you could brake pretty quick on them, but it's just a whole different ballgame, man. My third piece of advice, kind of a callback to the previous topic that I was talking about there, but it's nighttime, traffic is lighter, that is true, but you have to think about the traffic that is on the road. What do you think these people were doing? More likely than not, they've been working a full day. These people have been awake since 7, 8 a.m. They have depleted their energy resources. They're exhausted. Some of them might be coming from a dinner or a bar. They might be drinking. They might be texting. The glare from the phone, it reduces your visibility in nighttime situations way more than people might think. So if they're texting and driving, there is such a small field of view and they don't even realize it. They are distracted. Way more distracted drivers at night. There's way more single car accidents at night proportionately, I'd be willing to bet. I don't know. Pulling stats out of my ass right now. You've got to consider what is around you at all times. Unfortunately, people are just not great drivers in the first place. You already have to keep your head on a swivel in the daytime, but when it's dark out, you gotta think, assuming you have a stock motorcycle, your headlight, you have one of them. It's tiny. You might have two. I think I have one. You have what? Kawasaki, you have two headlights. They're minuscule. They're tiny. Not many people can see that. Not many people pay attention. Your brake lights, they're tiny. All your lights are tiny. You're just kind of a blind target to a lot of these people. Again, most of these drivers can't see you in the day. What makes you think that they would see you better in the night? Here's another thing for you guys to consider. I catch a lot of flack in my comments because, I'll admit it, I don't really wear a ton of gear. I'm not an all the gear all the time kind of guy. It's just who I am. I do think you should wear gear. There is a common term, dress for the slide, not for the ride. You, in my opinion, are more likely to drop your bike, get into an accident, or fall at nighttime, which is where this recommendation comes. If you are going to be riding at night, please, 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 wear your gear. If you don't have gear, wear something that sort of operates as some kind of gear. Don't be out shirtless and in shorts. Sure, it's one thing if you're wanting to do that in the daytime. I think even that's pretty stupid. I at least wear a t-shirt. But don't be completely naked at night. I get it. It does feel good. You got the cool wind in your armpits and your thighs. It feels great. But look at what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing pants, man. When's the last time you guys ever saw me wear pants? Long story short, riding at night, ultimately, you're riding the same motorcycle. You're doing the same actions. It's not that different. You just need to be more cautious. You need to be more careful. It's not that bad. Get out and do it. You'll get more comfortable with it the more that you do it. It's really not that bad. Also, for those of you who primarily run tinted visors, I would highly, highly recommend getting pin locks for your visors. On nights where it's super humid or even raining, a pin lock will change the game. If your visor does not support pin locks, get a new visor, get a new helmet, get pin lock stickers, both for your tinted and your clear. It'll change the game. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any other helpful tips for night riding, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great night. Peace.